open mouth.
Wait a minute. You know they're out there, don't you?
Welcome back everyone, welcome to Gozo. We've come up here from Malta, taken the ferry, and we're here for one day and got a few things planned, a few sort of ideas of stuff. Had a little coffee at Black Cat Cafe, got chatting with some of the people working there, and it's just made me think, as an initial talking point, of saying one of the best ways of discovering places to go and visit is if you walk in with your camera, let yourself be known that you are a photographer. It starts up conversation almost every time. And so speaking with locals, getting ideas, and they can pin you and point you to areas on the map that other people, even the locals themselves, may not be that familiar with. So as you know, we are very much urban city people. Gozo does have a pretty epic coastline of places, so we will be stopping at a few of those spots. But for the most part, I want to see what it's like in some of the streets and the alleyways. Already just walking around, it's very peaceful little streets and side streets, little pockets of colour and plants. Yeah, very enjoyable. So Gozo's got a very different vibe to the rest of Malta, and people will say that it's kind of similar to how Malta, the main island, used to be about 50 years ago. It's very much a slower pace of life. So I'm looking forward to exploring today around Gozo, and yeah, we're starting off in Victoria, which is kind of the capital of Gozo Island, I guess. It is so bright today. Does anyone else struggle on bright days with photography where you want to wear sunglasses, but every time you pull up the camera, it's just a pain, right? Yeah, it's either camera or sunglasses. I choose camera. So we've had a little bit of a mooch around Victoria. It's not that big a place. It's pretty walkable, pretty small. But I like seeing all of the little side streets, and eventually you come across this square of shops and, you know, congregation of commercial people and all sorts, which is quite cool. We do have this, is this the Cittadella? There's a cathedral in there. It's not really the type of photography that I'm looking to get. I've had a quick search on Google Maps and things. I just don't think it really fits the vibe, and we've got some other spots that we want to go and see whilst we're on the island of Gozo. I'll tell you one thing I have noticed with taking photos around Malta and also here on Gozo is when taking shots of the streets and the vehicles that come through, I've noticed a lack of bikes, which I find interesting. Usually when you go to somewhere that's got like a hotter climate, there's all sorts of mopeds and scooters and bikes and everything. And in Asia in particular, you can almost guarantee there's going to be a bike coming around your shoulder and at every street corner. Whereas here it's not really as common, which is surprising. You do see them, of course. In terms of getting photos of the streets, I think I said in my previous vlog that one of the things that I struggle with these days is on-street parking. I find that the cars along the sides of the streets just really date an image, and as cars get more and more modern and the buildings stay old, it feels like there's weird juxtaposition between them. But a bike, on the other hand, or a scooter, somehow still has a little bit of a classical, more individual aspect of a narrative to a photo. So I do love getting images of just a single bike in a street or a frame. Struggling with that a little bit here, but we will continue to wait, and hopefully we'll come across some. Anyway, onwards to one of the other little towns in Gozo, and I think we've got a couple of hours until the sun starts to set, which is around 6:30 p.m. For October. I'm not sure how it differs for the rest of the year, but I can't imagine it's too different given the geography of where we are. Man, it is a hot and hazy day today. Can't turn back now. Oh, it's nice to be back on a normal road. Bloody hell. I do like off-roading, but I prefer to do it in the right car, and I also prefer to do it in one that I think you're allowed to do it in. I'm not sure if I was supposed to take this hire car there, but we did. So anyway, they are building a road, a nice little road that gets down to the bay. It's not quite ready yet.
How are we going?
Of fun. So we came down to, I believe it's called Dwera Bay maybe. And before we'd even taken a moment to like properly look at it, dude on the boat was like, "Do you want a ride? Come have a ride." €4. And you know what? Probably the best €4 we spent in a long time.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable.
Usually we don't do touristy things, but I think that's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
It was spontaneous, he's just there.
20 minutes on a boat,
Yeah.
just going around, cruising some of the little waters.
Chilling.
Yeah. The water out here, I've said it many times, but it is so blue. It's almost purple. It's like a really rich, deep blue. And yeah, just these natural caves and rock formations. If it was warmer, I probably would jump in the water. It looked pretty good. Okay, normal roads this time, please.
To Slendy Bay. Slendy?
Slendy. I'm gonna do this one, right? Don't, not that one.
No. No off-roading.
Okay. I've realised, by the way, we were calling this Dwera Bay, but we were at the inland dive site.
Yeah.
Because the bay is over there, which, given the time, I don't think we're able to walk over there, and I think that would be nice to get a big boat around.
Mm-hmm. I think you have to dive or get a boat, so yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we're going to head to Schlonde. Well, the birds are active. That means it's sunset. Follow the light. Always. Best way to go. So we've made it to Schlendi Bay now for sunset, and we got here just in time, which is great. And one of the things that I love doing when taking sunset images, because it can be quite difficult sometimes, is to set your exposure comp to something like +1 or sometimes even +1.5 stops. And then just embrace the light. Shoot into the sun, shoot into the light, and you get this soft, sort of faded glow of things. It can be a bit of a stylized approach, but I really enjoy it. And I managed to do it just as we were walking around a corner. Before I could even see through the viewfinder, the camera is still turning on, snapped this image, which I was very happy with. Yeah, so +1 sometimes, especially when shooting direct into the light, can really help. Likewise, when it comes to sunset, especially when it's near water, I really enjoy being at the water's level and just getting as low down as possible, or you know, just low to the water, because then the light just glows and reflects off of it. When you view from the top or a slightly downward angle, sometimes it just glows a bit awkwardly or it's a bit weird, whereas getting down to that water level just really helps with things.
There is a
Blowing. One of the other photographic strategical reasons for why we chose here, Schlendi, is because of the opportunity for urban space, buildings, as well as the sunset with the nature and the water and the rocks and everything. Because as the sun sets, of course, behind you is where you've got buildings and all sorts happening, and that can give you extra photography opportunities. If you were just up at a viewpoint, which we did contemplate, there's a couple of spots around here, when the sun goes down, that's kind of it.
It's limited to one area, one subject.
Yeah, whereas here you get a variety.
Yeah,
That's
options.
good. Yeah.
So if the sunset fails, at least you can take pictures of the buildings.
And you'll have Schlendi of opportunities. This is actually a classic thing right here, because now that we're stood here,
I'm not sure.
I want to go back.
Yeah.
Should we
I
go back?
think it's nice over there.
Let's go back. Get off the road, don't play on the road, kids. So that rounds out our day in Gozo. Obviously, you can't do everything in a day. I would come back again. In some ways, I'm glad we didn't stay here because I wouldn't have known how long to stay here. So we can save that for a future trip. I hope you've enjoyed this video and capturing some images around a few spots in Gozo. It's been fun for us, and the weather has been absolutely glorious. It's just shone the whole way through. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've been enjoying the Malta series as a whole, and then hopefully moving on to some other travel plans. So yeah, we will catch you in another vlog real soon, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.